Den of Thieves 2 is coming out this weekend. I know some of you might be thinking, what? There's a Den of Thieves 1? Yes, Den of Thieves 1 came out in 2018 starring Gerard Butler, Shea Jackson Jr., and 50 Cent. It was a pretty entertaining heist movie, and it is often compared to the 1995 classic heist movie Heat, starring Robert De Niro and Al Pacino. Den of Thieves is kind of a remake of Heat. They are both crime thrillers focused on a high-stakes heist featuring a dynamic between a skilled criminal and a dedicated cop with a strong emphasis on detailed planning and execution. Now 7 years later, we finally get the sequel that the fans were all waiting for. Pre-sales for Den of Thieves 2 are looking strong, and it could be headed for an opening in the high teens or 20 million plus, according to some box office insiders. Early audience reviews are out already. Is it better than Den of Thieves 1? Let's take a look at what some people are saying about Den of Thieves 2 Pantera. Aina writes, the opening phase of Den of Thieves 2 Pantera comes across as messy, which gives the feeling that the film is struggling to get going. Unfortunately, the film takes a little longer than desired to get going. Only in the second part does the story begin to unfold better, and the story gains more clarity. From that moment on, you can relax and enjoy the film as a pure action movie, entertaining and smooth. The performances of the actors and the action scenes are solid, but the film offers little more than that. Anthony writes, 6 years after the events of the first, we follow Donnie and Nick for a new, somewhat special heist. I love the way they explained the new heist. The film was incredible. The action develops little by little in this film. The ending, on the other hand, is very interesting for the sequel, because we don't really know if they'll come back for a third Den of Thieves, or if it announces a spin-off for the sequel. Anthony gives the movie 4 stars out of 5. Kev writes, imagine if we didn't let frat guys write this movie, but they did kind of pop off for the last third of the movie. Kev gives the movie 2 stars out of 5. Matt78 writes, Den of Thieves was inspired by Heat. Its sequel is inspired by the 1998 movie Ronin, starring Robert De Niro. What the film loses in action, even if there is a very good chase scene, it gains in suspense, with a very tense heist scene. Christian Gudegast establishes himself as a gifted filmmaker. His film is classic and sophisticated, and there emerges a feeling of an authenticity which makes it a pleasure to watch, without digital effects, which is often plaguing current action films. The duo of Shea Jackson Jr. and Gerard Butler is fantastic, and Gerard gives us some amusing exchanges with French cops. Matt gives the movie 3.5 stars out of 5. Lior writes, to my surprise, much more controlled and serious than the first, we end up with a heist film that is not original but honorable. The main heist is very entertaining too. It's still a way too long for what it is. The success of the film also lies in its ability to create a tangible relationship between its two characters, thus preparing a possible sequel while offering a satisfying end. In short, I am ready for this franchise to replace Fast and Furious. Lior gives the movie 3.5 stars out of 5. Jamie writes, this was a surprising step up from the first film. It's no longer trying to be Heat, and it leans into a great dynamic between Gerard Butler and Shea Jackson Jr. There are way too many endings, which kills the momentum, but I'd be all in if this became a Fast and Furious type franchise that got more and more ridiculous with each installment. Jamie gives the movie 3.5 stars out of 5. Liz writes, the movie was nice, the music is incredible, the action scenes were great, Gerard Butler is still as handsome as ever, the plot twist was good. I already liked the first one, and well, it's the same for the second. Liz gives the movie 3.5 stars out of 5. Looks like the early reviews from audience members are pretty similar, with an average score of 3.5 stars out of 5, which isn't bad for an action movie. People agree that the heist was good and the dynamic between Butler and Jackson are fantastic. Seems like the movie starts off slow but picks up during the second half. I'm planning to catch it this weekend since I liked the first one. Are you guys going to watch it this weekend? Let me know in the comments.